Good afternoon and welcome to a very windy and beautifully sunny Thursby. Today we're looking at this property you see behind me, which is Fairfield in Thursby. It is one of 4 properties that were built in 1995 by a local builder, but by the current owners they have actually made the property bigger by converting the garage and also adding bedroom space above with an extra ensuite facility. So the property now, although it was a 4-bed detached, is now double fronted and offers 5 bedrooms with a ensuite facility. The grounds around the property are pretty decent, but the real crowning glory I think for this property is going to be the fact that it has such a lengthy driveway space for those who've got many vehicles, which is rarely found on a property which is a former new build, and also has and was constructed by the owners themselves a brand new detached garage just a few years ago that will give you also extra parking or just even storage. So if we just spin round here, you'll see the garage behind me, and then if you look further beyond, we can go and have a further look to the driveway, which as you can see spans right down to the roadside there, which has got pillars on either side of the entrance, so it makes it for a real grand entrance when you come into this property. And all it's needed really is a set of really nice gates put on there for one extra privacy, but just to give it that extra air of grandeur. I'd see nothing short of electric gates to really just giving it the crowning glory on this particular property would just make that extra difference and just make it feel extra more special. So we're going to go over and have a look at the street scene, and then I'll come back here and we'll show you around the property itself in all its glory. I will just tell you a bit more about the village. As we walk towards the roadside, we are just on the fringes of Thursby village, and the property like I say, is just on the actual side of a road which brings you down a lengthy driveway. So it's a really nice location because you're not in the thick of things, but you're also just on the cusp of everything that you need from the local village. So I'm going to pan round in a second and just show you the street scene. Okay, so you can see here we're looking up the road there to a roundabout which takes you onto the A596 or the A595. So in one direction Carlisle, and in the other direction you can get to Keswick, Cockermouth, Whitehaven, and on the A596 Wigton and Workington. It is certainly a nice little village. It's really quite a quiet village, but it has amenities. I'm told it's got a local fish and chip shop not too far away, and in the village itself it's got the Ship Inn and a very reputable primary school as well. Now this is, I think, one of the really good selling points about this particular property. So it's got this huge long driveway which and you'll see at the top of the driveway there has got a detached garage. It's also got a small turning area, so there's an absolutely huge potential for anybody needing all this extra parking. It's very rarely found in a property of this sort of age. It's a former new build, and as I say, it's been down to the vendor really who's acquired this extra ground, so you can park lots and lots of vehicles on here. So I'm going to take you down to the garage. We'll have a look in there and also show you the front and rear gardens and what they have to offer. But as you can see, it's got huge benefit for having all this extra space leading up to the garage. There really is massive potential for anybody with vans, fleets of vehicles for work and things like that. So the garage itself, really sizable, nice and neat. You needn't house vehicles in here. It's just brilliant storage if nothing else. There's a remote up and over door, so it's really easy to be in and out of, and there is a side door as well. It's got power and light and water in there. As we come to the other areas, you'll see the front of the house now in view, and you've got garden space to the front, which is a nice lawned area. Doesn't take much upkeep, it's just got a few borders, and then this is the former drive, so you can probably appreciate at one point this is where you'd have driven up to into what is now an extra sitting room, but was the former garage space. We've got a nice little storage area just here which you can fling I guess, if you're into outdoor sports, possibly canoes, paddle boards, things like that. Possibly adding lockable stores for bikes and things if you don't want to put them in the detached garage. So that's very useful. So just going to take you around the back and show you what the rear garden has to offer. So the new fence panel's just been put up along the side by the vendor, and we go down this flagged pathway and it pans out into a really nice sizable garden. You can see it's absolutely bathed in sunshine, and it's really getting the best of the afternoon sun at this point. You can see it's got a flag patio area, so there's actual scope for decent amount of garden furniture, and just little borders so you can be planting those up, give it an extra bit of colour if needed. But yeah, it really is a decent sized garden space. So there is an additional conservatory being added to the property, and again it just gives you another room to spread out in. I mean, it's just a great sized family home, it really is. So there's loads of extra spaces that as I say, you can spread out into. You've got the conservatory, you've got the large lounge diner. You've also now got an extra sitting room which was generated from the former garage as well. So I'm now going to take you into the property itself and give you a good look round. So we enter the property straight into a really nice size entrance hall. You've got open spindle staircase to the first floor, which is sort of central in the hallway itself. To my right, we've got an ensuite facility. So that's got your two-piece suite in there, always useful for, you know, if you've got young children or you've got potentially some maybe elderly relatives living with you who need access to a downstairs toilet. On the left-hand side here, we've got a great, really great sized dining lounge area. Really magnificent size. It'll fit so much furniture in here. And the aspect from this room is over the front garden. It's really rather private. There is really no houses because of the height of the hedges and the walls, and how much land there is around this particular property. You're not really overlooked at all. This room will lead you then into the conservatory, which was added at a slightly later date, but is really great for, as I say, just overspill of family members, or if you've got teenagers, or you just want to retreat to somewhere and have this room as an extension of the garden. It's got patio doors there which you can open, but it's a great space, really great space. We'll just go back through the lounge and I'll show you the kitchen. So the kitchen, albeit is not the most modern, and the vendors will admit that, it is a quality kitchen. It was built by local cabinet makers and has stood the test of time. Solid oak, and it has got obviously plumbing for a dishwasher. It's got your double oven there, your electric hob and extractor, and masses of worked surface there. And the nice thing is it does have a lovely aspect out the rear into the garden spaces there. But it's a sizable room. I think for quite a lot of people, they probably reconfigure this, because next door, you'll see we've got this enormous utility room. So this is the back of what was the garage, and this is the extension that these guys have put on. And I think for a lot of people, it would be a real nice idea to possibly take that wall out there and open up this space to make it into a really sociable kitchen, dining, possibly with the addition of this room as well, a kitchen, dining, living space. So you could, again, just incorporate this into the whole of a reconfigured room and make it a real wow factor. But don't get me wrong, as it is, for anyone with potentially elderly relatives needing to live with them, you've got a space that can be closed off quite nicely. This could be a little sort of bed sit living room. You know, it's sizable enough to fit in a bed. and a little sofa, or it could just be your secondary sitting room. But for those who needed it for that purpose, you could accommodate a little bit more in the way of a kitchen space there, so possibly they don't need to be in the main kitchen. But I think for most, they possibly would reconfigure this and make it a real wow factor. Okay, so we'll go upstairs. I'll show you all the great sized bedrooms that this one offers. So again, very much like the entrance hall, it's a really good space up here. Massive landing space, and it's got two loft accesses. So we've got the original loft access above me, and then as we pan over here, it's got the second loft access, which is obviously been created by the extension. So to my right here, this is the original master bedroom. Really generous proportions. Great size. I mean, this room has got, they are freestanding, but it's got this enormous length of wardrobes in there. And they go right down that wall, and masses of them. So you know how much you can sort of fit in as far as furniture is concerned. And then we've got a door here which leads to the ensuite facility. And that's got your three-piece suite in, so it's a corner shower, cubicle as you can see, WC and pedestal wash basin. And again, for those, they might want to upgrade to a slightly more modern suite, but everything functions perfectly. Then you have here your aspect just across the conservatory roof to your back garden. And again, you've got high boundaries, so once you're down there, you're really not too overlooked at all. It's a really nice space to be sat out. And then next door, equally really good sized room, which again, got a nice big window in. All these rooms are really light. It isn't a really nice day, but they're generously big windows, so they bring a lot of natural light in. So that's a really nice aspect that you can see from the front of the property here. You can probably gauge as well how far away the detached garage is, and also how much driveway there is there. So as I say, it's really unique and unusual because it has got all this land around it that you never usually get with a former new build. But as I say, the vendors have been very clever in what they've done, in that they have bought extra land, and it's just enhanced this plot no end. So next door here we have another bedroom, which again, sizable. It's certainly more of a single room, but really good size. There's no tiny box rooms in this particular house. We have got some storage space on the landing as well, which has just got shelving in. And then we have got the family bathroom, white suite, so non-offensive. Again, up to the individual whether they want to just upgrade to a slightly more contemporary suite. But again, everything functions nicely. It's a lovely light room, is that as well. Okay, so this is now the extension. So this is above the former garage. It's another big room. So good size double. Again, with an aspect to the front. And look at that lovely blue sky out there today. But as you can see, it's really private at the front here. You're really well set back in your garden. And there's no passing traffic at all, because this is your plot and nobody else need come up your driveway. And then this also benefits from an ensuite, which was actually added at the same time. So you've got a nice contemporary suite in there with a corner shower, cubicle and wall-mounted, wall-hung wash basin. And then finally, this room here, which is again one of the newer rooms. But again, by no means small at all. It's a really generous size for what is probably your fifth bedroom. And again, just a nice aspect from the rear over your garden. So that completes all the accommodation. So if you can see the benefits of what this property has to offer, it's a great family house. If you can see yourselves living here with all this sizable accommodation, great grounds and all that parking space, pick up the phone, give us a call, we'll organise a viewing for you. It's our Cockermouth office and it's 01900 822 200.